if the RBI is going to come out with the rate cut in December, then you have the non-banking or NBFCs now under pressure because of that.
So NBFCs technically benefit if there is a rate cut because their cost of funds go down as well. But of course there's a lead and lag, and eventually how much of that translates to margin accretion is really the question. Like Bajaj Finance suggested that it won't. They're not looking to. They're looking to pass on the entire benefit to customers. So for the moment, not sure about NBFCs, but banks will certainly be under pressure because margins will immediately come under pressure where banks are concerned. The deposit rates will take time to readjust, and therefore you might see some temporary pressure on the margin number if a rate cut were to go through.
The October inflation number, which came in at 0.25, now it's putting up a wager of whether it's going to be 25 bips or 50 bips in December. So that's going to be challenging for some of the PSU banks as well.
No, sure. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm sorry, I was just looking at how, massive the earnings reactions are. Look at Cochin Shipyard, that's down 8% and Tata Steel is up 3% right now. You don't have Tata Steel move this way, I think, on a single day, right?
Yeah. Even some of the other names. Honasa is up 6%.
Exactly.
So
that's how big the reactions are on very earnings specific cases. And I mean, to think of it, Tata Steel, well, the numbers were great. The sector has been in an uptrend. But I mean, to think of it, brokerages have not really upgraded the stock meaningfully. But one did sense that because of the sector buoyancy, because the numbers are great, you would perhaps see Tata Steel move up the way it did. But look at the disappointment play out on a Cochin Shipyard, or for that matter, finally relief on a Honasa. Just 30 seconds left to go before we kickstart the opening bell. Otherwise, I would have quickly gotten a check with Kunal. We'll do that as soon as the opening bell happens. But yeah, awaiting some of the other earnings reactions as well. You've got Aman Infra, you've got Intero, Sensera Engineering, Supriya Life Sciences, all these earnings which one would see a reaction in on. And of course, we're awaiting reaction on most of these names. But on a net basis, the Nifty is headed in for a quiet start. Having said that, we've had 3 consecutive days of a green close. So hoping that it's going to be another comfort close, as is. Although it is a very, very quiet start that one is seeing. Look at Tata Steel there, 2.5%, no less. That's the kind of move that you're seeing on the stock. Biocon, that's the big one. A solid 5.5% move in trade yesterday. They're exploring the merger of Biocon Biologics with Biocon. That's what the company has indicated. I want to check in on what that stock is up to. I can see Tata Steel is comfortably around the 2.25% kind of gain mark. Look at Asian Paints. And you guys were talking about as to how the commentary is still muted, but no, the stock is up 3.5%. So clearly indicating that, yes, the commentary may be something else, but remember, this is a stock which has gone nowhere in over a year now. And finally, in the last fortnight or so, you've been seeing a little bit of a turnaround. The numbers operationally, of course, are quite okay. And Asian Paints holding around that 28.63 mark. We're going to be chatting with the management as well in the due course of the day. Pfizer came out with its numbers. The EBITDA has jumped up 21.5%. Margins have expanded all the way now, nearing and closing in on 36%. So look out for what that stock as well does. This Prestige Estates, of course, we're going to be chatting with Mr. Irfan Razak shortly. Look at that, 5.5%. That's the kind of gap-up move that you're seeing on Pfizer. Prestige up 2.5%. The EBITDA, of course, has jumped up over 44%. Margins have expanded 37.5%. Honasa, what is that stock doing? Because it's really been a bit of a turnaround quarter. The EBITDA positive now as opposed to EBITDA loss. The revenue has risen 16.5%, 7.5% of an uptick is what you're seeing on Honasa Consumer right now. There's, of course, Endurance Technologies. Steady second quarter is what they've posted this time around. Revenue uptick of about almost 16%. M&M, they've signed that agreement for a 50-50 life insurance JV with Manulife. I'm going to see how the street is reading into this. Well, I wouldn't read too much into this 0.5% of a downtick on M&M. It's a 3,700 rupees stock going on its way to 4,000 rupees per share. Data Patterns also came out with its numbers. Nazara came out with its numbers. Let's check in on those names. Data Patterns, 6% of a gap up. Nazara Tech up 2.5%. Rides, they've backed an order, so that's why the stock is in news. That's the case with Phoenix Mills too. They're looking to buy out CPPIB's stake in the arm for about 276 odd crore rupees. There's Man Infra, EBITDA jump up of 29%, good numbers there. GNFC, Intero Health, Sensera, HCG, Supriya Life, all these earnings have been quite good. And of course, there's been that disappointing set as well. IGL, the EBITDA downtick of 13.6%, gross margins lower, 13% on a sequential basis. Cochin Shipyard, like we've been flagging off, it's the biggest casualty today. Even IRCTC, the margins are flat. Muted ticketing revenue growth is what they've posted this time. IRCTC hardly lower, flat with a little bit of a negative bias. By the way, in Cochin Shipyard, that gap down has already got covered into, it's recovered 3% from that opening downtick. IRCON also, the numbers are weak. The EBITDA downtick of 30%, margins have fallen 7.25% there. Even for Senco Gold, it's a muted revenue growth that they've seen this time around. The EBITDA and PAT both have seen a jump, but a jump on a lower base. 1.5% higher though for Senco Gold. Cohance came out with its numbers. EBITDA downtick of 41%. There's been a massive margin squeeze as well. 4.5% of a gap down for Cohance. Lemon Tree, EBITDA flat. Margins at 43% versus 46%. Lemon Tree also lower and now headed in for almost a 4% decline. SpiceJet, net losses expanded. The revenues are downtick of about almost 13.5%, and most of these names are languishing as we speak right now. And Harsh, anything that you may have spotted?
No, I think we've covered a bunch of things. Let me toss it to Kunal. Kunal, what are you spotting?
It's an okay start for the indices.